Good morning, good afternoon, video. I am your international award-winning author and literary extraordinaire, Tennille M. Jackson, and I am coming to you guys for my first time ever live on YouTube. So I am more affiliated and accustomed to coming on live on Facebook. I typically come on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. However, starting this month of July, what I decided to do was to go live on the various social media platforms because I just kind of figured out that those were available to me. And so basically, every Monday, I will be coming live to you all with a different entrepreneurial tip of the week. And so you may say, well, what qualifies you to do so? Well, not only am I, as I stated in the opening, an international award winning author and literary extraordinaire, but I am an official entrepreneur. I do own a bookstore, and I've had this bookstore open for over 3 years now. And so it is a brick and mortar business. And so I know about business licenses and sales taxes and all these different things that it takes to run a business in an official capacity. And so, with my organization, Authors Promoting Success, we are going to be expanding in the coming year. And so, instead of waiting until 2019 to officially expand, I am making the announcement and letting people know that we are not just going to be helping authors, indie authors, but we are going to really kind of expose and extend ourselves to helping all of the different art forms. So we're looking at the literary arts, being authors and poets, which we already are accessible to also extend ourselves to the performing arts with singers and musicians, as well as the visual arts, being like painters and filmmakers. Because regardless of the industry, regardless of the art form, if you are an entrepreneur, there is an underlying connection that we all have, and that is how to get your business up and running. And so the similarities that we do share are they come in the forms of marketing, promotion, and sales. And so in either case, those are some of the things that when I give you your entrepreneurial tip of the week that I will be discussing. And so today's tip really is just about trusting your gut, right? And the latter half of that, which I couldn't put everything on the title, but it's trust your gut, but never be afraid to ask for help. And so I know for myself, I have a lot of mentors, whether they mentor me directly or indirectly, and they are priceless. The information that they have, the knowledge that they provide is absolutely invaluable. I could not put a price tag on it. Some people that mentor me, they are aware that they mentor me, and then there are others who have no clue that they serve as a mentor, but still in all, their mentorship is extremely valuable. And so when I come on live, what I really try to do is actually give that same type of information, or not even the same information, but give fill that same void. Because whereas no, I have been in the literary industry, active in the industry for almost 10 years as a business owner, again over 3 years with this bookstore. My organization is 5 years old. I have a publishing company that has been up for 4 years, but again, I am still relatively new as being in the business world. However, there are others who I know are just starting out and are newer than I am. And so, where there were many times where I had to, it was trial by fire and I had to be exposed. And there were a lot of nights that I cried and things that I didn't know that I wish I would have known that someone would have told me. My whole point of doing these videos is really to try to help encourage someone, motivate and empower someone to know that you can make it. Understand that, you don't have to always have a billion followers in order to be considered successful. And in most cases, and I've had a lot of friends say, by the time they're ready to support you, they'll have to book you. That's what one of my girlfriends said. And that's so true, because many times when you come out, people are afraid to support you, either because they don't know what it is that you stand for and they don't want to endorse it, or because they have too much of a familiarity with you where they don't feel that it's a sense of urgency to support you and to show you that they're there for you in your corner. And so I felt all of that. I remember when I first opened my bookstore in Chicago, I was inside of a mall, And there were a lot of people, a lot of naysayers who kind of discouraged me and wanted for me to give up or to lose hope, and saying, what's the point of opening a bookstore? No one reads anymore. Everything is so technologically savvy. No one is going to buy a physical book. And again, I say that I am in my third year of owning a bookstore, and we were in the mall for a year and a half, and now we've been in our independent location for a little over a year, and we're still going strong. Do we have our struggles? Of course we do, but what business doesn't? And that's one of the things that I learned. And so again, today's tip is to trust your gut, but at the same point, never be afraid to ask for help. So whom do you seek help? My opinion, my advice to you is to seek help from those who have already done it, who have already traveled the road that you are traveling. Do not seek help from people who don't even share this type of desire, people who've never done it, people who are naysayers and who talk about you for doing it. Because if you do, 9 times out of 10, you are simply going to be even more discouraged and more likely to just give up and let it go. And so you want to seek advice from ones who've already done it, whether it is your exact same industry. So again, if you are in the literary industry, if you are looking to write a book, then you want to seek opinion or seek advice from those who've already written books, those who've already been published, those who've won awards, whether it's being a best-selling author or an award-winning author. Seek advice from those people, not the people who are still saying that they want to write a book and been saying it for the last 10 or 20 years, not the people who feel that being an author, there's no point to it. You don't want to do that, because you're not going to gain any ground. If anything, you're going to feel even worse about your idea. But talk to individuals who have done what you've done or what you desire to do, and who have experience and they have knowledge and expertise that they can contribute to you. And so whether it is a brick and mortar business, again, there are a couple people when I was first looking to open up my bookstore, again, not in Chicago, that I sought different advice, but different people who actually owned a bookstore. And there was one woman of color in particular that I reached out to who lived in a different state, but I knew she had done it for a while, and I just wanted to know, what are some of the pros and cons? What are some of the obstacles and challenges that I may face? What are some of the threats? What are some of the opportunities? It was a whole SWOT analysis that we had within that conversation. I was so glad that she was more than willing to share with me and to be open with me. And so then when there's another young lady who came to me, matter of fact, there's been a couple young ladies who've come to me to ask me some of the same questions that I asked that young lady over 3 years ago. And so of course I was more than glad to share my opinion, because at the end of the day, when you get someone who is willing to share with you openly and honestly, it does not guarantee you their success, because at the end of the day, favor cannot be duplicated. And so in many cases, especially if you deal with believers, many times doors are open not necessarily because of their work, but because of their favor and because of the relationship that they may have, with God. But then there are things that can be duplicated. You can duplicate a work ethic. You can duplicate the concepts that people teach you. So always be willing to listen and to be open and to, take notes whenever I talk to people that I consider mentors. And again, whether it is directly or even indirectly. So whether I happen to listen to a phone conversation or a conference call or read a book that was written, I'm forever taking notes and figuring out, how did they do what they did, especially if this is something that I too want to duplicate. And so, if if that's not indirectly or if I'm directly talking to individuals, I ask those questions. I'm going to ask you, how did you do this? Or when you met this obstacle, how did you overcome it? And then I try to figure out, how can I implement that advice, those words of wisdom into my life? So again, understand understand that when you decide that you want to be an entrepreneur, and many entrepreneurs will tell you that we didn't decide to do it, being an entrepreneur kind of it chose us. It is your lifestyle that kind of mandates that you become an entrepreneur. And so I know for me that so being an entrepreneur for me different challenges, because my life is, and not only that, but it was also going to be difficult for me because I am the first in my family to do it. And so when you are a first time entrepreneur, there are going to be a lot more challenges that you face, because there is, hey Annie, thanks so much for tuning in. When you are a first time entrepreneur on any level, it's going to be difficult because no one else has done it. And so, if nothing else, you don't know what to expect. And for me, that really typically tends to be one of my main challenges, because it's like if I know what to expect, then I know how to prepare myself. I know the type of research that I need to do in order to solve my problem. But when I don't know what to expect, then it's that much more difficult, to execute, right? Because you don't necessarily even know what you're looking to execute. And so again, that's another reason why I shape my business the way that I do with my organization, Office Promoting Success. And again, we will be changing the name after a while. So maybe I need to call it what it will be instead of what it is. But with Artists Promoting Success, the whole thing that I do is it is really a mentoring family, right? So you have all of these different like minded individuals, all these individuals who have decided that they want to do the same thing. Again, at this point, it's authors, but just being indie in general. So whether you're a singer, you're a musician, you're a poet, you are a painter or a filmmaker, like doing those things take a lot of heart and it takes a lot of courage. And just to do that, to take that step, is something that most people don't desire to do. And so when I created this organization, it was really to serve just as that, as being like a family. We're not like your average organization because we are more family oriented. We support one another inside as well as outside of organizational activities. And that support system is so crucial because many times I may know that I'm intelligent enough to execute whatever my plan is, but sometimes it helps to have that support system. And unfortunately, many people do not support what they don't understand. And so if you are the only person that's in your family who is a writer, or the only person in your family who wants to start your own business, the only person in your family who wants to take this leap of faith, no one else is going to get behind it. If everybody in your job, I mean in your family, has traditional jobs, if everybody in your family, they are ones who are normal 9 to 5ers, or they have the traditional work ethic where the woman stays at home and the man goes to work, then no one will understand if you don't want to continue in that tradition. Does it make what you're doing wrong? No. Does it make what you're doing something where you're going to be set up for failure? Absolutely not. It just makes it different from the path that everyone else has decided to take. And so, like I say, one of the things that I do is I always put myself there in the place of other people who have desired to kind of, to quote one of my authors, work off the beaten path. You decided to do something that is not what everybody else has chosen to do, because it's not easy. The Bible says that many are called, but few are chosen. And so when you decide to start out and create your own business, that's going to be scary enough in and of itself. But to have to do it totally by yourself, I do not encourage it. I do not advise it. So again, that's why today's, and I'm just about done. Today's entrepreneurial tip of the week is to trust your gut, right? Trust your gut, but never be afraid to seek help. Never be afraid to ask advice. Never be afraid to reach out and get a mentor, because you're going to need that. No person, man or woman, can exist in this world successfully by yourself. You have to have someone that you can go to, because you got to understand that you don't know it all. You never will. And you may know some things and you may excel at the things that you know, know, but there will always be something else that you need to know that someone has more knowledge about than you do. So definitely make connections with those individuals. Never be afraid to humble yourself. Never be so arrogant that you don't think that somebody else can tell you something, even if it's an industry that you feel that you got all of the knowledge on. Understand there's always things that you can learn. And so that again is the entrepreneurial tip of the week. Never be afraid to ask for help, but still trust your gut. So don't feel like, well, the only way I can start this business is if I got 50 people that's going to support me, or if I have 1,000 people that's going to do it. Because many times people will not support you until you have proven yourself. People won't support you until you've been around for a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And then, even then, they won't support you until they see that other people are supporting you. And so you have to understand how business works. And above all of that, you have to believe in yourself, believe in your product, your service, whatever your business is, believe in it. Believe in the reason why you are doing what it is you're doing. And Annie, I appreciate your support so much. I really do. Again, this is my first video on this channel. I had to start all over again, and again I will share that story another time, but I had to start all over again. And so again, I could have been discouraged and said, you know what, I'm not going to go through all that, but I believe in this message. I believe in APS International. I believe in what it is that's being done. And again, at the end of the day, as long as you are able to impact at least one person, you've done your job. So many times we get caught up in numbers, and I understand the importance of numbers. Again, I have a master's degree in business, so I get how business goes, but you never can lose sight of your why. And that's a whole nother video that I may do again, because on another channel it was there. But I may come back with that video. Never forgetting the importance of your why. As an entrepreneur, you have to know why you are getting involved in this business, because understand, you will be told no a lot more than you will be told yes. You will hear a lot more no's than you will hear yeses. But let me tell you, the yeses are so much more rewarding, and they make all the no's worth it. And so I just want to encourage you guys. I want to come on real quickly to encourage you all. When I do my entrepreneurial tip of the week, it will not be as long as like my videos and stuff. So for those of you who do tune in to YouTube, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. I will be giving you guys content that you can tune into. Typically, again, videos will be done live every Monday. If I can figure out how to download these videos I've already done to get them up here, then I will. Otherwise, I'll kind of redo those same videos as though they are being done for the first time. But I would appreciate you guys if you follow APS International. And again, we are going to be helping entrepreneurs, anyone who is dealing in any type of art. So whether it's literary arts, performing arts, or visual arts, if you know any of those individuals, authors, poets, spoken word artists, painters, filmmakers, singers, musicians, we are going to have platforms that's going to help to promote and showcase all of these different individuals in the arts, because the arts are so important. It's an industry that is so forgotten about, so overlooked. People feel that it's nothing, it's underestimated so much of the time. And I really am going to be devoting so much more of my time and my energy to bringing more exposure to this industry and for those individuals. And so every Monday I will be coming live to you guys. And again, sometimes when you are doing things, consistency is really key, and that's one of the lessons that I had to learn. Again, that's another video in and of itself, but I had to learn about the importance of consistency and honoring your word. When you put out there that you're going to do something, then you have to do it, because you never know who may be waiting for you. So every Monday I'll be coming live on YouTube. Mondays your entrepreneurial tip of the week on YouTube. Tuesdays your book reviews on Facebook. Wednesdays an inspirational inspirational word on LinkedIn. Thursdays, the aspects of entrepreneurship on Facebook, and Friday, just information about APS on Instagram. And I will be coming to you Monday every day at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you desire to follow me, you can do so at APS International. That's APS, the letter Entrenational, and that's on any social media platform: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope. You can find me there at APS International. I would love if you follow me. And again, for anything artistic, so whether it's literary, performing, or visual arts, any updates regarding those things, that's one of the main reasons why you want to follow me, for those updates and just for information regarding those industries. And so I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. And I'll get better with this again. So I got to get used to YouTube and the YouTube audience. But make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I don't even know if it's possible to share on YouTube, but if it is possible to share, then hit the share button. So thank you guys so much. And oh, it is possible to share. I just saw it. So thank you guys so much. And I believe if I hit the X that I'm coming out of here. But make sure that you guys hit that share button and the subscribe button. And have a great day.